All right, taste test time. I mixed it up. That's what it looks like. I'm going to take some meat and some spaghetti. Can you see it? And pick it up and try this, okay? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wow. This is actually not bad. I mean, I will tell you the truth, it will definitely taste way better if you do use ground beef. That way you don't have a chunk of meat, which is still quite small. I mean, the chunk is pretty small, but this is pretty good. So, guys, please make sure you go ahead and try it. Give it your own twist if you want to. It doesn't have to be exactly this way. And Assalamualaikum everybody, welcome back. Today I am going to share with you something I've never cooked before. This is going to be a trial and we're going to try it together and see how it turns out. So this is a recipe that came on my feed. It's Marion's Kitchen. She cooked beef bolognese spaghetti. So I was like, oh my god, this looks so good and I want to try it. But when I went into my pantry and I realized that I have 60% of the ingredients that she used in her spaghetti bolognese, then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try. So, without further ado, let's give it a try and see how it turns out. Since I don't have ground beef like the recipe calls for, I am going to use whatever meat I had at home. So I had a big chunk of beef that I had purchased to grill to have steak night. Instead, I just used that. I kind of went ahead and sliced them ever so thinly. Look, I mean it's almost ground, but not quite. I probably could have sliced it more to make it ground, but I wanted to try it out with this. So this is the cut of meat that I have, and I will go ahead and use that. I'll go ahead and heat up some vegetable oil that I've already added in the pan. I'm going to make it quite hot before I add the beef in it. While I'm doing that, I'm also heating up a pot of hot water so that I can cook the pasta in here. I'm adding a lot of salt to season the water. It's a lot of water, so I'm going to go ahead and add a whole lot of salt in it. And I'll let the water boil. Oil is still heating up. How would you know that the oil is hot? One trick that I normally use is I get a wooden spoon and I dip the other end of the wooden spoon into the oil. If there bubble forms right away around the wooden spoon, like you can see, that means the oil is hot for you to go ahead and use. So now I'm going to go ahead and add this beef in here. Yes, that's the sound you want to hear. Spread it out and let it cook evenly. Water has started to boil, so I'm going to go ahead and cook the spaghetti right now. I'm going to use half a box. This is 2 pounds box. I'm going to use half of it. Take it out and I'm going to break the spaghetti into half instead of adding the whole thing. Half is easier to eat for the kids. I'm going to take a little bit at a time. Take it and just break it in half. Go ahead and add it in the water. Submerge it in the water. Pasta's in, and seems like the meat is ready. This is how it's said, that it's supposed to start browning around the edge and all the water is dried up. All you want to do right now is flip the meat so the other side is cooked. So you want to give it a little bit of burning effect so all the flavor can come out of it. I'm going to let the other side cook a little bit longer, and then I'm going to put the rest of the ingredients in it. The recipe that I was watching and following did not give exactly how much of what to put, so I'm just eyeballing and adding as I go. Right now I'm going to, in this cooked meat right in here, I'm going to go ahead and add diced onion, tiny diced onion, looks like this. This is quarter of a yellow big onion. I'm adding it in there. It also calls for garlic, chopped up garlic. So you can either add in chopped up garlic, or you can do minced garlic, you can do a whole garlic, or you can just use garlic paste. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add garlic paste. I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic paste. Let the garlic, get the onion cook a little bit until it's translucent. I let it cook for about a minute, and the onion is cooked like the way I want it. I'm going to reduce the heat to medium. Go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients. So I'm going to add crushed tomato in a can. This is a can of 1 pound, 12 ounces. The recipe yet once again did not tell me how much of it to use. I'm going to go ahead and add the entire can because I'm going to not only use it for the sauce to be ready, but also for the spaghetti to have enough sauce in it. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and add some tomato paste. I usually buy canned tomato paste and then put them in tiny containers because I feel like the canned ones, if you just leave it like that, they can go bad easily. So this is tomato paste. I'm going to add approximately, let's see, this is 1 tablespoon and another tablespoon. So pretty much 2 tablespoons of half a can of usually how they come, tomato paste. And once I've added that, I'm going to really blend this sauce or the tomato paste in with the meat. So this is what it looks like. Now I will go ahead and add my crushed tomato. Stir it. bay leaves and 2 whole red pepper, dried red pepper. I'll go ahead and add a tablespoon of soy sauce to give the flavor and to add some salt in it, because this soy sauce usually are very salty. And stir it. Once you have stirred it in really well, go ahead and cover your pasta sauce or the bolognese sauce and leave it on medium-high heat for approximately 20 to 30 minutes. One more thing that I was supposed to add a little while ago while I was adding everything else, other than a few other things that I'll add in the end, was some stock. The recipe calls for beef or chicken stock, but I don't use those. I use vegetable stock. I usually have it handy for soup and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and add. Oh, it smells so good. And it looks so good already. I hope it tastes as good as it looks, because I've never made this before. This is the first time ever I'm making beef bolognese spaghetti. So I'm going to go ahead and pour half a cup of vegetable stock, broth, whatever you have. If you don't have, no worries, just add some water. But if you think it's already, wet enough, you don't need any more. So I just added it just because it called for it, and I'm adding everything that I have at home. There are things that I did not add that the recipe called for, like carrot and star anise. I don't have those things, so I did not add those things. Look, it's thickening up already. I have another 10 minutes for this to cook before I add a few other ingredients. This has been cooking for 20 minutes. In between, I added some vegetable stock. This is what it looks like at this moment. Wow, smoky. Oh my God, this smells so good. So now I'm going to go ahead and add a few more ingredients. First, I'll add a tablespoon of sugar. And then I will add half a cup of heavy cream. I always have heavy cream handy at home most of the time because my girls love to have hot chocolate even at summertime. One day maybe I'll share it with you. Half a cup of heavy cream. This will make this sauce a little bit more thicker and nicer, and it will probably taste amazing. We will find out soon, all of us together. One last thing the recipe called for is lemon zest, the yellow one, lemon. But I don't unfortunately have lemon zest because I don't normally use lemon, but I do use a lot of lime. So since I don't have lemon, I will go ahead and use a little bit of lime zest. I'm not sure if it's going to have the same effect, but I'm going to just add it just because, this is a trial of a recipe that I've never made before. Supposed to give a nice, refreshing, zesty feel to it. I've added approximately 1/4 spoon of lemon zest. Maybe you can see there. And I will let this cook in medium for another 10 minutes approximately. So in total, you cook this whole thing for 30 minutes. All right. Kind of sort of moment of truth. By the way, once I was cooking in between, I went ahead and added actually another 2 tablespoons of sugar and another about 1/4 cup of heavy cream, because when I tasted it, it just tasted too sour due to using a whole can of tomato sauce. Anywho, so this is what it looks like right now. I'm going to try and fish out the red pepper, the red chili pepper that we had added earlier, and the bay leaves. So 2 bay leaves. There's one, and let's see if I can find the second one. There you are. Fish them all out. 2 bay leaf. So normally I would either dump the sauce into the pasta or the pasta into the sauce, but in this case I'm not going to do either, only because I don't know what this is going to taste like. I don't want to take a risk by just adding a whole bunch of things together. So I'm going to take some of the spaghetti from here and take it and then place it on a bowl like so. And I'm going to take some sauce out of the pot and add it on top. And then after that, I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese. And voila!